Good morning, traders. Hope you're all doing fantastic. Today is the 23rd of November. We have the last week of November. Well, we have Monday and Tuesday, the 30th and 31st next week, but technically, this week is the last full week of November. Yesterday was a pretty slow day. Today, we have some news coming out on the euro and then potentially looking for some good trade setups. Starting off with pound dollar, and I'm going to be looking just at the 1 hour and then lower. We can see on the 1 hour, this was our main leg towards the downside where we created a high, low, we pushed down and we broke this last swing low. So that is the main structure point that we have. So you can see I have my premium and discount tool plotted on there. Then we saw it last week, anticipated and saw the price came back into this area, reacted off of it, came back again, retested, and then we saw it push towards the downside, breaking structure. We had a pullback, a bit of accumulation, and then we broke structure again towards the downside. So what am I looking for today? Well, pretty simple. I'm just looking for price to make a pullback again, creating a new lower high with this trend towards the downside, and then getting it on the lower high and taking the trade towards the downside, a bearish momentum. I'm looking at this level as a potential target area early on in the week for this delay. Looking for price to reach for that area. So that is a liquidity area for me. Let's just put our X there. Then on the 1 hour, what else? We have this imbalance over here. We have this previous high as well. So we can mark this high there as well. We have that high. And then, yes, that's the most relevant liquidity areas that I can identify quickly. We have this order block. Potentially this is a order block because we did see a structure break over here, but it's not good enough for me. It's not clear enough. So then let's have a look on the 50 minutes, and then we can just look at where is our Asian range. So we have Asian ending there and starting around there. We have our Asian high and we have our Asian low right there. That is important for us because we could potentially see a sweep above or below the Asian high and low. So ideally in this case, we would want to see price moving up. But then on the 15 minutes, we can now clearly see that this candle is of some value to us. And we can also, small amount of imbalance, very little. So we can plot it down, but just know that it's not super clear. Wait, no, it's not super clear, but we have some imbalance there as well. We can just change this color maybe to something like that. Um, This is the 1 hour imbalance. We already traded back up into it on the 50 minute. So not exactly sure. I think this one is a bit more likely because it will be above the Asian high into an order block, clearing the imbalance and then moving lower. So ideally, I think this is the type of thing that I'm looking for, what I would want to see happening today on GU. So that's the analysis. And you could potentially, if we get in up here, we would ideally target firstly the lows, which is in line with the Asian lows. So kind of if you get in up here and you get a stop loss just above it, and then definitely targeting the Asian lows for a 4R, and if we go for the ultimate target around 8 risk to reward. So that's not too bad, and the risk reward is there. There's a range, there's open space over here, we have room to move in. So definitely something that I'm considering and looking at today. It all depends on what happens during London Open. So we can just place our markers at Frankfurt Open, which is at 9, and then London, which is at 10. So we know that around those times we would want to see price developing. So we're going to just take this away. Just we know where they are now. We know where the high and low is, and so we can work from there. So that is, I think, the view that I have for this day on GU. Potentially then for the rest of the week, just to get a kind of a picture, I would want to see these lows taken out. So if we don't reach these lows today, I would want to see them traded to Wednesday, the next of the day, rest of the week. And then potentially we could see a reaction and then move back towards the upside. But that is too far in the future and we're not there yet. So we're just looking at the day. What do we see today? Where's the ranges that we're moving in today? And how can we then capitalize on the movement today? So that is then the view what I have on GU. So let's have a quick look at euro dollar. You'll remember from the weekly analysis that we looked at price moving up higher into these areas for potentially a pullback. But price had other ideas, and we just continued towards the downside, continued looking for shorts, which was actually the better option. We can see that this was our structure break towards the downside, and this then gave calls for price to make a pullback. And you can just look for interest sake. This was the swing point that broke structure. We came back into the 50% and then started trending towards the downside. Then for today, it's the EU I'm not liking too much because you'll see now, let's just take some of this yesterday's stuff away. You'll see now that we are so far down that it doesn't really make sense. Yeah, so this was the level that I'm looking for. I think I mentioned it in the weekly analysis. It is these lows over here because there's literally nothing in here that really excites me. Potentially this candle could be something because we haven't traded into it yet, and there was a small structure break over there. So potentially that candle could be a turning point. So let's have a look. Let's pay attention to what happens in here today. It's quite important to see clear confirmation. So if we decide to go long, we need to break some structure. So on the 1 hour, let's just mark these structures out. On the 1 hour, this is our previous significant highs, and there is a significant low down there. We would want to see price move above those levels if we are bullish. So let's just move that there. We can see clearly. We want to see price break these structures and start giving us potential order flow towards the upside. So this is kind of what we would be looking at. But just note that there's some areas already up here that price could react off of to go further towards the downside. We have a lot of imbalance in this area. We can clearly see the imbalance over there. And we would potentially then wait for price to move up towards the upside. So I would want to see price creating some strong momentum towards the upside and then looking for that pullback into an order block and then continuation up. So basically break and retest, but just from a different point of view. So yeah, don't stress too much about it. So and then see price move back up towards the upside if we are bullish. If we're bearish, so if we're bearish, these are still very nice selling areas to look for sells. If we don't get the sells over there, then potentially earlier sells would be, let's look at my 50-minute. Let's see. 50-minute is a bit messy. You can see EU is just a lot more messy compared to GU. So, but I would potentially take this swing towards the downside. Why? Because over there we broke the structure to the left, but then we kept pushing down. So now we're extending it. I'm looking for areas within the premium to base a something off. So we have this imbalance over there, which is good. So price could potentially, you could see price returning towards this imbalance and then move down lower. So you can just extend this like this, potentially move down into this area and then get a reaction towards the downside. I can't decide what color I want. Can't decide yet. So that is more or less the idea that I have. I don't think we're going to see, if we're going bearish still, we're not going to see a massive push up and then that will only be like 20 pips, I think. But as I said, EU is not my favorite. Yes, we'll have to see what happens on EU. So we have the start of Asian session, the end, sorry, and there's the start. We have our Asian high there and the Asian low there, which is actually already marked out by those two areas. It's a big push towards the downside, this impulsiveness, and then started consolidating. So it does make sense for price to go up, tap into this area or the order block up there. So somewhere around this area. But then it doesn't matter where it taps, we want to see first the reaction. So it taps into the area or wherever that area is, maybe then a sweep of it, and then a structure break towards the downside, and then some entries to take shorts towards the downside. So probably still short bias, but we still need to get we need to get the entries. Aussie dollar, no, sorry, I don't like it. GJ. So I was looking for price to come to this area after we reacted off of this order block. So it is about to approach this area. So We could potentially wait for price to reach this area and then look for continuation shorts. So this will align with the view that we have on the for shorts as well. So the pound could weaken and go lower. So this is kind of, we have these lows, maybe have a sweep into this order block and then a push down. If we look at the 15-minute, we could refine this to that candle. This will definitely be a good setup if we see this sweep above these highs into this order block and then a break of the structure, getting a pullback into an order block and then a continuation towards the downside. That's in a nutshell what you want to see, guys. That's breaking it down and making it stupid, simple, easy. So, yeah, that's then what I'm looking at on GJ Gold. No, as I said, I don't trade gold and I'm really not good at reading its levels and stuff. So, something that I'll still backtest and exercise and then get back to you on that. Aussie dollar, if we have to make an analysis, well, we are bearish. We can see the price is moving down. If we just look at the daily, we are approaching this daily order block in here. So let's just use, I'm just going to use the bodies just to make it simple. Somewhere around this area, we could potentially expect a reaction just because of the nature of what we've been doing, because we've been breaking structure towards the downside. This is where the move started. So on a higher time frame, same thing on a lower time frame, we're going back to the order block. So potentially we'll see a reaction or something in here and then move back towards the upside. But on the 1 hour and lower time frames, we still need that confirmation that we are bullish or turning around, and currently not seeing that. We have a lot of areas and imbalance and stuff, but until we see clear conviction, it's still bearish. So this is the leg towards the downside. In the upside, where's the first where we can see we identify some liquidity? We have some liquidity over there, which could definitely act as a good area for sales, along with this previous high. So maybe something like this, but I've been known to get this wrong, Aussie dollar wrong. So take what you can from this and apply your own knowledge and understanding to Aussie dollar. It's not my favorite. That's why I always start with GU, which is my favorite and best traded pair, and then followed by EU, and then the rest following suit. So that is it, guys. I am excited and eager for today. I think we can have some really good setups today. So let's see what happens and what type of scenarios plays out. So this is so far looking the best to me. Um, yes, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful, splendid day. Enjoy it, stay safe, and happy trading, guys. We can define this towards that area. So this could maybe just be a last resort. So F price, come on. Could maybe see it coming up back all the way up to this area. So just take note of that as well, please. Um, yes, because if we look at this leg towards the downside, we're nicely in the premium. So something to consider. All right, guys. Hope you all have a wonderful day. See you in the chats. Those that are in the trial setups group, I'll see you there. And the rest of the community, see you there as well. For you on YouTube, happy day. Enjoy it. And then if you stayed up until now, you hear me rambling around. Good luck. Enjoy it. Okay, bye. See you guys next time.